Alright, what's up everybody? Gonna do my weekly review right now. Just want to go over my trades. Big thing this week was just missed opportunity. There were plenty of cases where I should have taken trades or was just kind of on the fence about taking some trades and whatnot. And, there was just tons of missed opportunity really. And I just kind of want to go over, what I did this week, what went well, what went wrong. So just starting only trade, well, I guess I'll do the stats first. Daily came out positive, made 73, get out. Made 73, but the commissions were huge. I only took 3 trades, but $46 in commissions is massive for only taking 3 trades. I mean, you can see I took 2 for 15, took 3 for 32, but I added up the size on the trades that I did take. And where is it? See the number here. I took 3,200, so 6,400 shares traded. So I mean, it definitely makes sense as to why it's so high. But it's just crazy to think that I've gotten to that point where they are gonna be that high if I'm gonna keep using big size like this. So the first trade that I took was this VRX. I remember it was the only gap and go that I really had that ever went against me from right from the entry. So, as usual, I did email Lightspeed, or I guess Lime Brokerages is who owns Lightspeed or something like that, and they sent me a message back saying they're changing the server that I am trading on, I guess. I don't really know what that means, but they said to either email them back on Monday and let them know what happened. So hopefully this issue won't be here anymore, because I know it messes with the candle patterns, candle shapes, colors. I just want it to be exact and precise because, it matters in this case, whatever I'm trading based off of the first candle of the day. So VRX was a really good one because it included the pre-market action, which was right at the top. Numbers don't really mean too much. I'm going to do another video later on, probably later on today. I'm going to go work out, but I want to take a much closer look at all of these 3 trades here to really narrow down, how big can I get, and, maybe I can tighten my stop even more or something. So that's to come, but VRX was the first trade that I took on the week. The third candle here. So I'm in the trade with 1,200 shares. Risk is $19.95. So there's about 20 cents there, 22 cents. So around 11 cents is when I should be thinking about getting out. So if this thing comes down to 6 cents, that's when the problem is. So I remember right off the bat it was not really fast. It didn't take off. Didn't take off when there really wasn't that much tape action behind it, not enough volume or nothing. So right away I knew that if it's not going to break, it's not going to break. I need to always be looking to cover my risk immediately, get out as quick as I can. Alright, so we're in, bunch of huge green tape here, big buyer there, but I mean we're stalling after this and we're just kind of getting stuck at that 18 level. And it's not breaking, so it pulls back right about where halfway to my total risk. And the reason that I have this as my risk, usually VWAP, is because you can see just how fast it came back to halfway to it. Well, in some cases I've seen it happen before where instead of just going back halfway to my risk, it'll go back and whip me out really fast, even faster than what it did right here. So that's kind of it's always defense first, offense second. So I exit the trade, that's fine. I did exactly what I should do, follow my rules, stick to what the data is telling me I should do. But the problem with it was it's been so long since I've taken a loss on one of these trades, my mind wasn't ready to enter right back in the trade. What I really need to do is adjust this right here, change it to 2020 immediately, and look to get back in the trade if it does want to pop back up. Just like it's doing here. You can see these big numbers on the ask. I mean, if I enter back in, my risk is a little bit below 20, so I mean it's another 20-cent risk here, so I'm only looking to get 20 more cents out of it, as soon as it gets up to 40. And right as it dips back down to 20, it pops back up. And then at this point, it's just a waiting game. If it's gonna get to 40, then boom, take partials, take another partial, take another partial. At that point, I might actually be all out of that trade, because it's so slow right now. It's just, of the other gap and go trades that I've always taken, they're fast. They move really fast. But this VRX, it just takes a while. And these kind of trades, I'm not looking to take a while just to see if it's going to get back up there. But I mean, it does. It slowly gets up there. I mean, I'm almost positive. I probably would have been break even. I probably just would have made my money back, really. And other than that, that might have been all that I would have gotten out of it. And then from that point, I'd just be looking for an opening range play just to see if it would. So that was VRX, and then Hertz was the other strange trade where it caused me to actually write up a strategy about it. Because at the same time I'm reading the playbook, and he was talking, or Bella was talking with another trader about how there's an unusual bidder offer, and that's pretty much the exact case with this Hertz trade here. You get big numbers on the buy and ask, there's a hidden buyer or seller that won't drop, or in this case, there's just, let's see, I don't know why VLC's doing this to me right now. Yeah, you can see this huge buyer here, and you can see it's relatively significant because it was already at that level previously in the day. So in this case, I can trade it both ways. If it's on the bid, I can buy and trade to the next close resistance for a small gain, and if past price action looks like a good short, just exactly what I wrote right there, then it looks like I can look to short it on the break of the low a day in this case. So really what I'd be trying to do here is I'd be waiting to see this 75 really getting chipped away, and then I can short it right as it's getting ready to look like it's going to break. And my risk is just if it doesn't break, and other than that there's nothing else to it. JD was an interesting trade. I don't really know. There's kind of some resistance there. Support. Maybe it's a bearish engulfing, not really a triangle. NVR was another case for the 5-minute gap and go trade. At the volume. And then we can see Hertz come back later in the day, getting to that point. And at this point, I just wanted to watch it. I didn't really want to trade it quite yet. But you can see there's just huge numbers all over the place on both sides. We get down to that 430. And then you can just see him slowly getting down there. And I mean, these are the kind of trades where you can just get massive size, because I mean, really, your risk is basically the spread. I mean, it kind of squeezed up. So really, I would, worst case scenario is probably 10 cents. So I'd be taking 1,000 shares on this one. And I remember, he doesn't quite go to zero. Somebody just snaps and takes him out at 120 or something. So boom. And then right here is where I'd be entering the trade. Just market order in, and then see what happens. It's either, and at that point, it's either going to keep going, or it's just going to pop back up, and I'm just going to have to take $100 loss. But I mean, everything around this looks really good. The SPY's moving down. You know, it made an attempt to move higher, crashed lower underneath, making a bearish engulfing again. And then, I mean, really, it's just another scalp trade, basically. Just looking for another 10 cents. But, I mean, there's so many sellers right here that really, you know, if it's gonna pop out, if it's gonna break these guys at all, that's where I'm looking to get out. Let's see, I think last they were at 64, so my risk is 64, and then, you know, just the more it keeps moving down, just keep taking partials, keep moving your stop down. You know, it pops back up, and then I'd be all out. I think that was the only trades. I guess VRX made a decent symmetrical triangle here. I don't remember why I didn't take that one. Maybe I wrote about it. What day was this? The 8th? No, it doesn't look like I said anything about it, but I think HTZ was the trade that really made me start wanting to, you know, look a little bit more into that. Also, there was another really good one on CMCSA. There was a really good, bearish engulfing pattern on it. I didn't go over it. But HTZ ended up being a huge trade there. You know, I am certain I wouldn't have caught all that move, but I probably would have gotten, you know, I don't remember what the daily points were. I think that 1940 was actually a daily point, too. Let's see. It was 60. It was 60 and 35, so I would have looked to cover some at 60, and then, you know, as it kept moving down, 35 was the next point. Alright, so that was that day. Then looks like we got Walmart. I took a bearish engulfing trade on Walmart. Second one that I have taken on those kind of trades. Yeah, this WB here, you can see right from the open here. So here's the first minute. You can see up here that it's already started on the second candle. Come on, why is this doing this? And you can see it should be moving to the next candle, but it's kind of like double stacking the candles here. So WB was actually a really good opening range breakdown here. You can see it's holding this 115, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And, you know, as soon as this thing's gonna snap, it just wasn't clean enough for me because this wick just kind of bothered me. But I think I really should have just ignored that part and just gone for the trade, because, you know, I got about 100 cents risk here, or not 100 cents. Well, it is 100 cents, but $1. So a full point risk, and I mean, you know, take 100 shares, try and cover as it makes a new low a day. Enter the trade right there. Maybe get filled at that 80. But if I remember right, this thing it never turned around. Kind of come back a little bit. Looks like I'm struggling at the 50, but it's not quite coming back to my entry. So I mean, it's still worth holding on to. So then we get towards low a day, breaks low a day, and then now is whenever you know you got a good trade going. You know, seeing those big numbers. Usually seeing those big numbers means they want to get filled. So I would have taken a partial there. At that point, I might have been all out. No. because that's the kind of thing that I keep getting mixed up on. Is the gap and go trade is a scalp. Those are the ones where I don't want to hold for a retest. But the opening range breakouts, you can hold for a retest, and I should be holding for a retest. See. Yeah, I didn't even have any levels for WB down here because it made this huge. That's what it was. I remember the average true range was like $5 or something, and this thing, the first two candles, it put in a range of $4. So I didn't think it had that much to go. I mean, it's another case where it's getting stuck at that whole number, and then once it breaks, it's gone. Even if I did decide to get all out as it pulled back up here, I should have looked to re-enter as it got underneath this 114 again, because it's just a continuation of a good trade. You cover your risk up here at the top on that pullback if I wasn't feeling too comfortable with the trade, but there's nothing wrong with going back into the trade. I mean, this thing just died after that, basically. So Walmart right here, it was really crazy, actually, because I was looking at Walmart right where I pulled it up right here. No, not there. I think I had it on another chart or something. But I was telling myself, all right, well, Walmart gap down. It pulled up at the open. 200's coming down on it. If it's going to make a bearish engulfing pattern, I need to see it break underneath VWAP. I need to see it... I think at one point I go to the 5-minute chart on this thing, but I wanted to see it close below VWAP and then kind of consolidate for a little bit, and then you take a short underneath that consolidation. And I mean, it did everything that I wanted it to do, word for word. So I knew I needed to be in the trade. See, it keeps consolidating. What I could have done is gone like half size right here or something, but that candle right there is why I don't want to be shorting it through VWAP. I remember that one NVIDIA trade that I took, is I did something like that, and that's exactly what happened with NVIDIA trade. I got killed on it. I definitely really like how it closes underneath VWAP. Too fast for you to handle, I guess. So at this point, it's just kind of like a waiting game. This is kind of one of those situations where all the longs that are getting long right now are going to get trapped, basically, if they break underneath that, because chances are their stop is right underneath this candle here. I mean, it ended up being a really good trade. I was never negative for a second on it. Right there, I got my order in at 82. So what did I do here? Risk 8307. My issue with this one is I made my risk, I didn't make it big, but I made it really far away. That 8307 was the top of this thing here, and what I really could have done is I could have moved it up to probably 83, because we got the 9 coming down on it. The candle's about to close, and there's just a better way. There's a tighter way to make my stop loss. Probably could have gone a little bit bigger size. I've never had problems with VLC like this. I don't know why it keeps stalling like that. I really like how it's low volume about that pullback too. You can see it's kind of ramping up here. I mean, these are just, they're all signs that it might be a good trade, so it's definitely something that I need to be taking. Alright, we finally get in, and as soon as it breaks, it's a really good break. See, it just gets down to the 82, and then as soon as it breaks that, we just snap down. We get all that. I'm assuming that this is a bunch of stop loss orders, people getting out, or people shorting on the market trying to get in. So it's a little slow, but you definitely like seeing the big numbers on the bid. Usually, in my experience lately, bid or ask, just big numbers on both are just good for your case. The lightened, or the smaller the numbers, the less buyers and sellers there are, the less chance the stock has a chance of moving. And I mean, you can see I still had my stop loss up here, but with this 20 coming down to 9, I absolutely could have moved it up, a few more cents at least. I mean, 83 I could have, I was risking $130, but I mean, this is 26 cents. I mean, it should have been something more like 20 cents. Let's cover as it gets into 60. You see that volume spike again? I was kind of struggling down there at that 68. So it's another case where, if it's struggling at a number, but it's not really popping back up or anything, if it's going to break that number, then it's got a much better chance of keeping moving down. Start moving, and once we get underneath it, then we're going again. It's a little slow getting there, but it wasn't a huge break or anything, but now is when I start waiting for a chance to take a partial right there. 56 is good. Nope, took another one. It's pulling back, but they're relatively weak pullbacks. And it was at that point, whenever I realized with the pre-market thing coming in like that, that I might be in some trouble there. So I think that partial that I took there was a little emotional. Just me seeing that there kind of caused me to like reduce my risk a little bit more, because I wasn't sure if it was going to bounce off of that. But in the next minute, it didn't act like it was even there. And the other thing that I was telling myself on this trade is that these longer time frame trades that I'm taking are the ones that I can be looking to add into. So I remember it held somewhere around this area. It might have been 50 to 51 here, and it kind of bounced around a little bit, and you start seeing the buyers there. But if it breaks that, that's a place that I can look to add, because we haven't seen a green candle yet. It's been in my favor for the most part. It's been a little slow, but you can see the market's drop. It was up at like a point up, and then now we're sitting down in the low 80s. So if I'm still holding on to this trade, which I am, underneath this 50 is a good place to look to add. So I'm holding on for the retest. Love you, boo.
Oh.
So then really it's just a waiting game. See what it does. You want to see it, put in a new high, and then now I have a new stop loss. So if it's going to break up above that, then that's the time when I should look to get out. But because it doesn't, it looks like it wants to move even lower. What I really could have done here is added into this. It's kind of, I'm not adding into it to hold for another 10 minutes or something, but it's kind of just like a scalp. It's just a quick add. I can basically get full size again. I could add another 500 shares or something. Because I'm already up. I think once it got up here, I was like $80 profitable. So what I could do is set my new risk reward up so it's like 15 cents. I can risk $80 on that 15 cents to be totally a break-even trade here. So what is that? 15 cents for 80 bucks. So yeah, I could add another 500 shares, or I could have 500 shares basically. So I could add 300 shares, look to get another 15 cents, see if it gets down to 35. But I'm looking to just take my partials as it makes new lows. It comes back. It looks like it's kind of struggling to move lower. We got a big volume spike again, though. It's a battle. It's a battle to see if it's going to be green or red. And now it looks like it's going to be red, so... it's just one of those cases where I really could have added into it. Just made my winner a bigger winner. Just kind of a continuation with the gap, and yeah, there goes 35. So it definitely could have worked out if I added into it. Just keep taking partials as it goes into, and then if it consolidates even more, you look to do it again. And I guess there's not a real clear spot to add again into this, Rather, I just hold partials as it keeps moving lower and lower, and it gets closer to low a day, and then once it pops back up, I absolutely once the stock gets above the 9 EMA, that's when I know that it's about time to get totally out of the trade. So I mean, it would have been a good ad in that case. So that was another thing to keep track of for next time these trades happen. Alright, so then last trade that I took was EXEL, another gap and go. Remember this Thursday there was a whole bunch to look at. I was either going to trade EXEL or I was going to trade this new on here. Let's see, 931 should be making a new second candle, but Lightspeed's killing me here. I do have TradingView up on my right monitor though, so I do get the right candle formations and everything. Let's see, EXEL, I am risking 10 cents, so I got 1,500 shares on it. Always looking worst case. I know I'm risking $150 on it, but I'm always cautious about the spread and how volatile the thing could be. I always don't want to get whipped out. So I'm in the trade. Big spike down and I'm in the trade. There wasn't a circuit breaker, but as soon as it made new low a day, that circuit breaker popped up on it. So I got pretty lucky I got filled on that. Certainly stalling at that 50. There's definitely a hidden buyer there or something. So at this point, I need to be thinking, well, if this hidden buyer is going to be that big of a problem, maybe I should just get out of the trade, or I need to really tighten my risk, because there's no point in just hoping that the hidden buyer is going to break or something. So really what I need to be doing is just notice where the last recent pullback was, and if it breaks above that, it's just time to get out. So we do get fortunate enough, break him, see if he keeps moving down, and then I am up more than I want to be, or more than I need to be on the trade, because I'm only trying to get to 45 cents. So we had that really quick breakdown, and I'm up 20 cents on the trade. It's 2 times my risk. 2 times my risk. I just need to be looking to take a partial, but I mean, this thing, it pops back so fast. I mean, I don't catch any of it. I missed that whole move. And then the hidden buyer shows back up again, which I thought was really strange, because he wants to buy here, he doesn't want to buy lower. And then it's a waiting game again. It's just the same case. I put my stop right above here. Hopefully he breaks again. We move back lower again. So I'm trying to be quick on it. I'm telling myself, there's either going to be a real nasty squeeze right here, or it's going to break and it's going to keep going lower. So I'm just staring straight at level 2, and I'm telling myself, as soon as I see that 52, I gotta cover and I gotta get out of this trade. What I wanted to do is put in a stop loss order, but the time that it takes me to go in here and fill out that stop loss order, this thing could have already squeezed by then. So I mean, I didn't want to take that chance. And then we break him, and I freaked out. I panicked. I just clicked the button, and I wasn't in the trade. And if I was really fast enough, I could have just reshorted that 900 shares and gotten right back into the trade, but I just wasn't quick enough. It was just another one of those situations that I've never come across before, so I've never had to deal with it. And I just missed the trade, and then there it goes. And I mean, now at this point, it's an opening range play. So I mean, even if I don't get back in there, I can reshort if it breaks low a day, and then my risk is like another 20 cents or so, and I'm looking to get 20 cents out of it. I had 19 as a level, so I'd be looking for about 19, 15 to start taking my first partial. And there it is. Take my partial, take more money. Really just too bad. Just these silly little mistakes costing me money this week. See what else we got. Nuon ended up being also a really good opening range breakdown. Again, I don't remember why I didn't take it. Let me go back. Looks like Nuon, I had 13 and 12 as levels, so really again, I just didn't take it. I mean, Nuon ended up being really good. It was only about 15 cents, and I mean, I got more than that within the first 20 seconds I would have been in the trade. I mean, there's no pullbacks on this thing until right now. That was it. Macy's was also a really good bearish engulfing. I mean, these are tons of trades that happened like within 7 minutes of the day. So I mean, within the first 7 minutes of this day, there was already so much going on that I couldn't handle all of it, I guess. It was just too much. I don't know. I can't say I wasn't prepared for it, because you don't really know what you're preparing for sometimes. It's just you got to be ready for the unexpected, and there was a lot of unexpected this day. Macy's ended up being pretty good too. It's not like I didn't have a chance to take these trades. It's just, I think this is what they really mean whenever they say you have to have split-second decisions with total indecisiveness. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you see it, you gotta do it. And I saw it, and I didn't do it a lot this week, and it really cost me. I'm not really gonna call it my trader intuition. It's just pattern recognition and debating if the pattern is clean enough, if I really do want to take it or not. And I mean, I was right more often than I was wrong, so there were plenty of cases. See Nuon setting up again here. Here was kind of a bullish engulfing. I didn't like that wick. That wick just bothered me a lot. I mean, it was at this point that I would be looking for some kind of pullback to get in, get a better entry. But I just never got it, so didn't take that one either. EXL kind of making a triangle. Broke with the volume is why I didn't take that one. So yeah, that's it for the week. I mean, I made money, but I mean there was so much opportunity that I just didn't jump on top of. And I mean, this could have been a huge week for me. It's just something that I haven't had a bad week in a while, so I mean, having a week like this is good because, it's humbling, it makes you think, it makes you want to study more, practice harder, just be a little more aware of your mistakes. So I mean, it's always a good review session to go over these things, talk about it. Just saying it out loud really makes you think about it more. So I mean, I'm still sitting up, it's fine. I just got to come back next week just really ready to take these trades if they're going to pop up like that. I just need to be on top of it. If I think it's a B setup, just because it's a B setup doesn't mean I don't have to take it. I gotta get in there. I gotta get the data. Gotta be in the trade. I don't have to take, if I really, I don't know, I don't want to say that. I still need to be risking, $100 plus on these trades. I don't want to be taking something crazy like 100 shares only or something, risking like $50 again. So I still need to stay on top of the risk. But it's just some stuff to think about. Always good review session. I'm going to type this thing up, post it to Twitter, post a link on this video. So, but definitely mistakes, missed opportunity. There's just a couple situations that I've never gone through before. So, dealing with new situations makes you come up with new rules to deal with those situations. So if I get stopped out of a gap and go trade, I need to look to re-enter immediately. That EXEL trade, that was just a panic click, really. I think I gave myself a 3 on the compliance. What is that? Exited too early. Yeah, exited at the wrong time, basically. But I mean, I'll take what it is. Just come back next week looking pretty good. I'm thinking about taking a couple days off of trading. I mean, ever since I moved back here to Arizona, I haven't taken more than, 2 days off, I think, back in April. And this weekend here, I'm actually going to Los Angeles, San Diego, just kind of hanging out. So the Friday I won't be trading. I'm thinking about just trading Monday through Wednesday, and then I'll take Thursday off. I might just trade. If I have a really good winner, a really good day on Monday, I might just call it on Monday too. If I get like another really nice $450 trade or something, I'll just call it. I'll call it a week. I'm getting to that point of being burnt out a little bit. A break's always good whenever you're failing like that. So good review session though. I'm gonna go work out, and then I'm gonna come back later in the day, and I'm going to go over my gap and go trades, and we're gonna look a little more in depth and see if I can find anything that's really standing out to me, something that I need to jump on top of even more than I already am. So thanks for watching. Be back in a couple hours.